The second question is looking at the funding structure and exits. So one of the more interesting phenomena has been that the successful Chinese tech companies seem to always list in the United States and not in China. And that the dirty secret there is that these foreign investors often make a lot of the money from the successful Chinese companies, both in the VC PE side, but also in the listing side. Do you think we're going to continue to see successful Chinese companies listing abroad, like in the United States, or are they more likely to, because of the move with the high-tech board and some of the other changes in China's IPO structure, that they'll be able to actually list and successfully raise larger rounds of money in the mainland?
I think we did the first listing. Not we, I was a part of it. It's called China.com. So we brought internet to China, and that was the company listing in the United States. But because we had that time there was not a VIE structure. I don't know if people know the VIE structure. China, there was a creation for companies outside China to supply technology to Chinese companies because internet that time cannot be operated in China. So therefore, you have some contractual agreement, you listed the technology arm. That's called a VIE. And I think Sina next. I think you're probably VIE as well, right?
We have the same structure.
That kind of structure actually allowed foreign investors to make investment, and at the same time to allow certain sectors China were not allowed to that time operating to be listed seeking capital in the United States. A very, very creative way of doing things, which what I think is one of the biggest innovation. I think it continue, there's still going to be good companies come to the United States. It's a mature market and I think overall it's much more healthy than the Chinese market. So that's why Alibaba is here. It's not in China. But I think they are talking about in China now to also has this reform, and so therefore we probably for the first time we're going to have so-called market that you don't have to be proved in order to be listed. If underwriter wants to take you to IPO, you can do it, and we're trying in China. I think that's going to be encouraging some kind of listing. I just met someone from US, and he's part of shareholders, going to be first listed in China. I think it's good news. But I think overall, companies just want to get to the market where they can access to funding, reputation, or cash out for the owners, and it continue to raise lots of money. I think, Vincent, your company, if not listed in the United States, you're not going to raise $1 billion in China, I guess. And even if you raise $1 billion in China, you have so much restrictions of how do you spend the money on that. I think China is changing on that, and I think eventually, I think Joyce, you can comment on that. Eventually, I think the Chinese market is going to be given some years to catch up with where the United States is going to be. So we have some hope on that.
Yes.